Turns out dysfunctional families are pretty normal even in the 1700s, but I don't know many people whose uncles want to kill them. So last week, Claire decided she wants to find her way out of the castle because she's got to get back to Frank. And so she starts putting a plan in place, which means leaving breadcrumbs, otherwise known as her clothes, all over the forest when she's playing with children. The plan is to get rid of her bodyguards and escape during the gathering. In addition to her markers throughout the forest, she also has a big bag of food. Because you know, it's the 1700s, there's no McDonald's around the corner. Seems like every time Claire has a great plan going, somebody thwarts it. Like Mrs. Fitz, who insists that she come to the gathering and change her clothes into something fancier. Angus is adorably annoying as a bodyguard, and he just won't leave her side. So I love that she drugs him with some valerian-laced port, takes a sip herself and spits it out, and then he greedily drinks it all. Haha. The vow is really something to me and obviously serious to the Highlanders, but kissing a knife and then wanting it to pierce your heart if you break your loyalty? Pretty intense, but to me not as troublesome as everyone drinking out of that big bowl of alcohol. I guess the whiskey kills the germs? I don't know. Jamie survives the gathering vow nonsense and drinks that whole bowl of backwash. People cheered for him. I don't know if they were impressed that he drank that much or that he survived everyone's germs. And now for my top 5 standout moments from this episode. It was hard to narrow it down. 1. When the Galis is in the clinic with Claire and they're chatting about life, she asks her if her husband is dead, and Claire vaguely answers that he isn't alive. Galis is too quick for this and keeps pressing her to say that her husband is dead, which of course he's not since he just doesn't exist yet, but Claire just decides to call him dead, and it hurts. It's also in this scene where Galis gives us her valerian root recipe to put people to sleep, which she says she uses on Arthur. Can't say that I blame her there, and I'm kind of relieved that she does that instead of sleeping with him. 2. As Claire's getting herself packed up and ready to go, Leary comes in, because she wants to open Jamie's heart to her, and Claire's happy to help. She gives the little blonde teenager some horse dung. Let's face it, this is brilliant. Jamie works with horses. He's not even going to notice the smell. But that wasn't even the best part of the scene. The best part is when Claire references her 1940s life in The Wizard of Oz. And I imagine Claire wishes it was that easy. 3. When Claire's all packed up and ready to go with her cape and her little bag of food and those 3 ruffians come get her in the hallway and try to rape her, it's Dougal who comes to her rescue. But he doesn't just throw the drunk guys off. No, he decides to take a little reward for himself. He kisses her, at which point you wonder if it's because he's drunk too or because he might have a small smoldering of feeling for her. Either way, Claire pushes him off and knocks him unconscious. 4. When Claire finally gets rid of Dougal and is on her way to the stables to get her horse, of course she trips over something and gets a knife pointed at her throat. She's inadvertently found Jamie's hiding place and he's gonna kill her. Not really. But he does tell her the folly of her plan of trying to escape right now because there's extra guards, and so he tells her he's gonna take her back to the castle where she can hide out. Sadly, they're discovered and Jamie is forced to get changed and go in and take his vow. Once inside, Murtaugh tells her the danger that Jamie's in by even showing his face at the gathering, and that if he'd stayed hidden, Colm and Dougal wouldn't have done anything. However, just like Jamie's family motto, Je suis prêt, he is ready. And 5. Claire and Dougal meet once again in the forest as he's helping Geordie, who's dying from being gored by a wild boar. This boar almost kills Claire, but Dougal saves her at the last minute. She and Dougal do their best to make Geordie comfortable. I'm not gonna lie, when Geordie's starting to die and they're showing his wounds, it was a good time for me to get up and go get a drink. At the end of the episode, there's all this angst about Geordie dying, but Dougal takes it out on a field hockey game with Jamie. And just like in the vow ceremony where Jamie takes control of the situation but lets everyone feel good about what happened, it's the same thing here with Dougal when he takes him down and flops him on the ground. He's shown his dominance, but then he tells Dougal he taught him well. Like he takes the power but lets the person have their dignity. At the end of the episode, Claire's feeling hopeless, like she's never going to leave this dungeon clinic she's stuck in. And then Dougal's there with the way out. She's going on a road trip. So that's what I thought about this episode. What about you? Let me know in the comments below and we'll chat about it there.